any disturbance?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. Okay, please give me a minute because I don't have a screen sharing option. So yeah, now I got. Okay, I hope my screen visible, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay, thanks. Okay, so in previous session, okay, we discussed about abstract classes and interfaces. Okay, now I'm going to continue with, okay, next part is private classes. Okay, see here, private classes. See, we are able to declare a class as private. Okay, so when to declare a class as private first? Okay, so before that, so is it possible to declare a variable as private, and is it possible to declare a method as private, and is it possible to declare a constructor as private? My question, three questions. Is it possible to declare a variable as private?
Yes.
Okay, and is it possible to declare a method as private?
Yes.
Next, is it possible to declare a constructor as private?
This part I exactly don't know whether I can.
No,
Yes,
sir.
so
No.
yeah,
I
it
think
is.
sir, no.
Okay, it is also possible. Okay, so we can also, okay, declare a constructor as private. Okay, so these three are possible. Okay, so here we can also declare a class as private, but not outside, but not outside. Okay, so we can declare a class as a member of another class. Okay, see here, for example, here we have two classes, book my show and a payment. Okay, these two are the two separate classes. Okay, so book my show and payment. Okay, so here in book my show, okay, we are going to book the tickets. Okay, so here these are the variables, okay, defined in the book my show class. Okay, so here apart from this user and the tickets, okay, at final stage, okay, at final stage we are going to make the payment in order to confirm the tickets. Okay, in order to confirm the tickets we should, okay, pay some amount for our tickets. No, so here book my show class is depend on the payment class. Okay, these two are two separate classes. Okay, so here book my show, okay, book my show has three variables. Okay, so two are normal variables and one is reference variable. Okay, here payment is a, okay, it is what, reference variable. Okay, so user is a string variable and tickets is a integer variable. Okay, so here payment class, okay, is used by the book my show class. Okay, here book my show is depends on the payment class, so in order to confirm the tickets. Okay, so here payment class has, okay, two variables. What are the two variables? Card number and CVV. Okay, so here card number, CVV. Okay, so actually these card number and CVV, these two are the sensitive information. Okay, sensitive information. I don't want to, okay, so I don't want to, okay, show this class outside. I want to use this payment class within the book my show class only, within the book my show class only. Okay, so here I am the user. Okay, I created one class user. Okay, user is depend on the book my show class in order to ticket, in order to book the tickets, and the book my show class is depend on the payment class in order to confirm the tickets. Okay, see here, yeah, this is my, okay, concrete example. So this is what, book my show. Okay, so this is class. So here user ticket. Okay, so here user ticket is my class, so I want to book the tickets. Okay, using which class? book my show class. So here user ticket is depends on the book my show class. So he is going to create an object for book my show, new book my show, and my show dot book ticket. He is going to call book ticket method in order to book the tickets. So now control will come to here. Come to here. Now payment is going to done. Payment is going to done. So if payment is success, then only his tickets are going to book. Otherwise, so if payment is failed, you are not able to book the tickets. So here payment class, payment class has what? Sensitive information. Sensitive information, and the user ticket is capable of user ticket is capable of so access this payment class by creating an object. See here. So here class payment I declared outside of the book my show class, actually. Outside of the book my show class. These two are the two different classes, book my show and payment class. So here book my show is depend on the payment. Payment class. So now user ticket class is also capable of access the payment class. See here. So payment, payment is equal to new payment of. Now payment dot make payment. See, he is also capable of make the payment directly by accessing, by calling this make payment. But it is not good practice. Because here payment class has what? Sensitive information. Card number and the CVV. In this case, I don't want to visible this payment class outside of the book my show class. I want this payment class only available to the book my show class. Book my show class. So in this case, we are able to declare a class as a member of another class. A member of another class. So see here how you declared variables. Variables here same like here also. Here after this amount, I'm able to declare this class as a member of book my show class. Is possible in Java. Is possible in Java. So and you can make it as private. You can make it as private like this. See, private class payment. So here class payment is a class, but it is a private member of the book my show class. Now outside, now outside, if you try to create an object for payment class, see, it is not visible outside to any other class. Any other class. So this is the one real usage of the private class. Now this payment class is a member of member of book my show class. Now it is only visible to book my show class. Now this sensitive information is only available to book my show class. So this is inner class. Private inner class concept. Is it clear? But see here. I think you may have one doubt in your mind. Sir, shall we make it as private? So it is not possible. You cannot make a class as private outside. Only nested class you can make it as private. Outside you can you are not able to declare a class as private like this. Is it clear?
Sir, instead of making this, I am just asking, instead of making the whole class as a private, under nested means book my show. The sensitive information we can only make it private so that no one can get access.
Okay. So here you are talking about like this, huh?
Yeah, I'm just asking whether if we do this.
Yeah. Okay. So now, okay. Now, if this class want to access these two, is it possible to access this card number and CVV here? Book my show class.
We can get it by
Yeah,
means-
sir. Accessors and mutators.
yeah.
And now user ticket also can do same thing now.
Oh, okay. Acha, acha. Okay.
Got my point?
Mhm.
Okay. Is it clear for everyone? Okay, this is one situation, one real use case. Okay. So yeah, I hope it is clear. So shall I move to next topic?
Sir, following that earlier person had asked to put private for those two card number and CVV.
Okay, private.
If this
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
if this payment class is within the book my show class, then it will not create problems. This is how payment class is outside the book my show class separately. If payment, so if payment class is within the book my show class with this modifier, then we can access it, no, sir, from user ticket and all.
1 second. Like this you are asking, no?
But I didn't mean the 12th line to be private, sir. I don't know exactly, but the other two are private, 13 and 14. Okay, now can we access this from user tickets? Sir?
No, how it is? How I'm not getting. Can you repeat
No,
your
this
question?
payment class.
Can you run this like Anand sir,
Now
can you
this
run-
payment class is inside book my show class.
Yeah, I got your point.
So
Can you-
now putting this private modifier for card number and CVV, will it work? I'm asking. Can we access them?
Yeah, it is declared within the class, no? So we can access. Arup sir, am I correct?
So there are two aspects. One is encapsulating your class. So that's a straightforward thing. Like you can make your members as private, not all the members. The instance variable public, private. So that means your class is encapsulated. So no one can touch the instance variable directly. So only through the interface using the public functions, public methods, your instance variable could be accessed or they could be changed. Now, what is the main point of having a private class within another class? See, if I want the object of this payment class, the object of the payment class only can be created by the outer class. That's basically book my show. Then we need to create it as a private. Making an inner class as a private restrict you to create an object of payment directly. So you have to create a book my show object. So that object will give you the payment object. So that way it is protecting, like you cannot create directly a object of payment class, right?
Okay, sir. Okay. So only by we can create a book my show object and access the payment class if this is the way it is written.
Yeah. So suppose I am having a railway reservation system for the example. So now inside the railway reservation class, you are having a lot many like functionalities, right? So like checking the PNS status, etc., etc. But I want if the user is a valid user, then only they will be able to access those functionalities. So what I can do, I can have an authenticate class in between. So we just check authentication of the user and return you an object. Through that object, you will be able to access those rest of the functionality. idea is something like that. And then, sir, if you have the example given by sir, you can open that. That will be easy to understand. You have handy with you right now.
Okay, node one, sir.
No, not node one. That another ticket, something was there, no?
Yeah.
Another example. If you have the slide, can you open that once?
1 second, sir. This one only, no, sir.
Can you go up? Wait. No, not this one. Next slide. No, next. That means I want to say the next video.
Okay. This one, sir.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Can you go up, down? Yeah, this railway example. Can you go still down? Still down? Still down? Yeah, go down. Go down. Yeah, go down. Yeah. Can you see this example?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
See, inside this railway booking class, right? You are having this query object, which is returned by the login. So if your login is successful, it returns a query object, right? A query object is the object of this particular class. So inside this class, you are having different functionalities written inside the query object class. Now, until and unless you authenticate properly, you won't get a query object class. So outsider directly cannot create a query object class directly. So he has to do the login properly so that railway booking class will provide a query object class. Are you getting this?
Yes, sir. Yes. Okay.
So that's the idea is until and unless you validate yourself, you cannot get a private class object. And if you do not get the object, you cannot access the functionalities. And as the inner class is a private class, you cannot create an object directly also. So this is a nice way to create a security around your class inside which you are having the secure functions. Right? Is it okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay.
The private classes are always inner class.
Private classes are inner class normally. Yeah. The outer classes are either public or package type, like default one. Default
Okay.
one.
But the idea is to protect the means important information from the outside of this class. But if I able to access those private instance variable through by one hop, means through book my class, then come to this inner class, then once again it is open to all.
No, I'm telling you, the query object class object you need, right, for accessing the functions. Your functions are written using the query object. Now my question is how you can create an object of query object class. Can you create it directly?
No, that
No,
I cannot.
because it's a private, right?
Yes.
So what you have to do, you have to ask the railway booking class to give an object of query object, right?
Yes.
So how you work? Through the login function, right? Now inside the login function, the user has to validate itself. So there is a validation function, valid login. So it is implemented somewhere. It is not shown in the slide. So if he's a valid user, then only he's getting an object, right? If he cannot prove himself as an authenticated user, we are not providing him the object.
Okay. I'm just adding some bit of protection before accessing that data.
It is not only the data, basically data you can protect by making just as a private. You're not giving you the object only. So without object, you cannot access the instance functions also, right?
Yes.
The public functions are also there inside the query object. Those are not accessible until and unless you get the object. But think about If it is the outer class, this query object, you may have created the object of it directly and you can call the public functions, right? You may not be able to access the instance variable because they are private, but public functions are accessible to you. But if you create it as an inner class which is private, you cannot get the object directly. You have to first authenticate yourself to get the object. And until and unless you get the object, even you cannot access the public methods.
Yes, correct.
Right. Another more protection. Can you go down still, Anand sir? So there is the interface somewhere. Yeah. Can you stop here? Now, suppose this, you can see no login function.
Yes, yes.
So login functions return you what? A query object, right? A query object type. But whenever return type is given, it's given as a QIF. Can you tell me why? It is not given as a query object. Because actually I'm returning query object only. No, you can see the QOBJ is an instance of query object.
Yeah.
Why? I may have written query object only, right?
No, interface of Q. No, it is returning to the interface of the QIF.
That I can return, right? Because since the query object implements QIF, so QIF object is also a, query object is also a QIF object, right? So QIF also returnable. My question is, instead of this QIF, can this return type be a query object type? My question is clear. Is it clear?
No, then how can you implement that without interface?
No. My question is clear. My question is clear to you. What I'm asking.
So just coming once more, sir. Once again.
See, login return what? QIF, right? Okay. But what I'm returning QOBJ, right? QOBJ is object of what?
Query
object, right? So then why I'm returning QIF, not query object?
No, that not very clear.
Okay.
Maybe if you give an not a valid or a proper train number or date or those datas, then
yeah,
in that case it would go to the interface or something.
So see, in that case, the valid login, if it is failed, it won't be able to create the object at all, right?
Okay, sir. Yes, I get it.
So it doesn't return in that way, right?
Yeah.
It may be returning a null. That option is not given here. There must be
Okay.
a part where I'm returning a null. Yeah.
Yes.
But my question is why the return type is not query object, it's a QIF. Now come to the scope, right? We read scope all, right? Now, can query object, this class is visible to the outsider?
No, it's
No,
private.
sir.
So if you return a query object, will the outsider will be able to access it?
Oh. Okay.
No. So, but QIF is accessible because it's a public interface. So that's why I'm not returning an object of query object. I'm returning a, actually I'm returning a query object only, but I'm casting it to QIF because QIF is something which is accessible to the outsider. But query object is not accessible because it's a private class. It's a private inner class, right?
Achha. Okay.
So I'm giving a scope which is public, right? I'm not giving a private scope. Because private scope, although I can return an object, but once I return, I capture it as a query object. But query object is something I do not know. I cannot access from outside because it's a private inner class, right? But this interface QIF is well visible to you, right? So if you return a QIF type, now the data are accessible or functions are accessible, right? So that's the idea of having the interface. If you don't use the interface, can you go back to the previous slide? Yeah. So in the previous one, see, you can return a query object, But if you capture this query object, user do not know what the query object is. The object will be invalid object, right? Because you cannot access, because you do not know where query is. So that's why, see the last line, how does the user know the capabilities of the private class query object? That's very important line, the question mark, last line. Because user do not know what is query object, what are the capability of that interface, right? Sorry, what is the capability of that particular class? So that's why on the next slide, yeah, can you move to the next slide, please? So that's why we are adding an interface to expose the capabilities. So this wonderful thing is happening over here. People are looking at the interface. They do not know what the implementation is, right? So it's creating an object, giving it as an object of an interface so that I know these are there, but I don't know how those things are happening, right? So it is just telling me these are my capability, what I supposed to have, but it is not telling me how the things are actually implemented. The implementation is given in the private class, right? So this is a very, very secure and wonderful way to implement the secure classes. Does it make sense?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, okay, okay. But please try to create this kind of example yourself. Like I can give you an example. Like if you have done any database connectivity in any programming language, you know, whenever I create a database connection, it gives a connection object, right? It returns a connection object. So normally this connection class is a private class of the database class. So once you get the connection object, you can access rest of the thing. Until and unless you get back the connection object, you cannot do anything with the database class, right? So same idea. So that's why it returns a connection object, right? Yeah, I think it's okay. We can proceed.
Yeah. Okay, sir. Okay. Next, this one, interaction with the state, manipulating the objects. Okay. So actually, here, if you have, okay, in order to provide encapsulation, okay, in order to maintain the encapsulation, okay, in your class, okay, your state should be private. Okay, your state should be private and behavior should be public. Okay, so here your state is represented in the form of your instance variables. Okay, so here your instance variables, okay, according to encapsulation, okay, your state should not change directly. Okay, so by using mutators, okay, you can change it. Okay, you can change the roll number, name, age. Okay, so here every, okay, private instance variable, okay, has accessor and a mutator. Okay, accessor and mutator. Okay, for suppose here we have 3 instance variables. Okay, these are declared as private in order to maintain the encapsulation. Okay, so every, okay, every instance variable has, okay, what a mutator and a accessor. Okay, so here 3 mutators and 3 accessors. Okay, so for suppose here, okay, consider student class has 60 objects. Okay, 60 objects. Okay, every object wants to, okay, wants to update these 3 roll numbers. Okay, sorry, these 3 variables. Okay, so set name, set roll number, and set age. Here student 1 is an object. It is going to call 3 methods. Okay, 3 mutator methods in order to, okay, update the values of roll number, name, and age. Okay, so next up to student 60. So how many methods you need to call here? How many methods you need to call here?
180.
Okay, 180. Okay, 180 methods. Okay, so instead of updating, okay, individually, okay, okay, you are able to, okay, update these 3 instance variable as a whole, okay, rather than individual components. Okay, it is also possible. Okay, how? Okay, you can use a setter method like this. Okay, so public void set student. Okay, so instead of set roll number, set name, and set age like that, so three individual mutators. So I'm going to use only one mutator. So public void student. Okay, here I'm going to take three parameters: roll number, okay, name, and age. So in this method, I'm going to write like this dot roll number is equal to roll number, and this dot name is equal to name, and this dot age is equal to age. Okay, so you can also okay manipulate your object. Okay, so as a whole like this. Okay, instead of writing so individual mutator methods, you can use a single mutator method like this in order to update your object like this. Okay, is it clear?
Yes, yes, this part is clear.
Yeah. Okay, next one is Java callback methods. So what is callback method? Any idea? Just if you know the definition, you can tell what is callback method. Okay, see, callback method. Okay, so callback method is going to call whenever particular event is occurred. Okay, particular event is occurred. Okay, so here callback method should not call directly by the user. Okay, so you should not call. See here class is the user. Okay, so here class is user. So actually user should not call the callback method directly. Just he should start the timer. He should start the timer by giving necessary parameters. Okay, sorry, necessary arguments for the required parameters. Okay, so here he is going to start the timer. First he created an object and he is going to start the timer like this by giving necessary argument. Okay, necessary here the input is date here. Okay, in this example, okay, he is going to call the timer. Now this timer will decide when to call the callback method. Okay, user is not able to decide. Okay, so this timer will decide when to call the callback method. Okay, so here callback method is going to call whenever particular event is occurred. Okay, so see here in this case, in this example, okay, here I am the user. Okay, I am the user. I want to know, okay, today is working day or weekend. I want to know. Okay, for that I need to give input as today date. Okay, today date I am giving as input. Okay, I'm going to start the timer. Okay, now timer will decide. Okay, timer will decide. Okay, so it is going to call based on the given input. Okay, it is going to perform some internal checking. Okay, so it will check whether today is weekend or working day. Okay, so based on that it is going to call the callback method from either working day or weekend. Okay, working day or weekend. Here working day and weekend both are having the callback methods. Okay, callback methods. These two are implemented from notification interface. Okay, notification interface, and these two are going to override these two this notification method in both the classes. So in working day and weekend. Okay, so now here same method notification, but the internal implementation is different. Okay, so notification is overridden working day as well weekend, but the internal implementation for notification in working day is different and in weekend is different. Now timer will decide. Okay, so notification method should call from either working day or weekend, this timer will decide. Okay, and now you tell me. Okay, you tell me. So what are the working days and what are the weekends? What are the working days? So generally,
Monday to Friday.
yeah, Monday to Friday. Okay. Next, weekend. Weekends are Saturday and Sunday. Okay. So here date object. Okay. So date object. Okay. You can call one method get day method by using date object, that is get day. Okay. So this get day method will return, okay, these values 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Yeah. What is 0? What is 1? What is 2? What is 3? What is 4? What is 5? What is 6? You tell me. So 0 indicates that Sunday. 1 indicates that Monday. 2 indicates Tuesday. 3 indicates Wednesday. Next, 4 indicates Thursday. And 5 indicates Friday. And 6 indicates Saturday. Now you tell me. When to call timer, when to call notification method from weekend. Already I said no. So here notification is the what? Callback method. Okay. So it is called by the timer. Okay. It is called by the timer. Okay. Now you tell me. Okay. Now notification is implemented in both working day and weekend. Okay. Already I said. Okay. Weekend is Saturday and Sunday. And working day Monday to Friday. Now you tell me. What is the logic required in the timer class? When to call notification method from weekend and when to call notification method from working day. Yeah, here we are giving what? Date object as, okay, date object as an argument. Now this start method is implemented in the timer class. Okay. Now what to write in the start method? Okay. Here we have start method in timer class. Yeah. Okay. I have a concrete example for this. You no need to worry. Just I'm asking whether you are able to understand this or not.
So we need to set a if conditional statement.
Yeah. You are correct. Yeah. Tell me.
And
Yeah.
then we
Yeah.
compare the argument with the current date, and if that is
So
matching
class timer. Yeah. You are correct. So class timer. Okay. So in this class timer, so we have what? This start method. No. Okay. So now we have start method. Okay. Sorry. So public void start. No. So it has what? Date object as parameter. Okay. Date d like this. Okay. So this is the signature of the start. Okay. Start. Okay. You are passing what? Date object here. Okay. Now it is initialized by date. Okay. Already I said. Okay. Date object. Okay. Is capable of date object is capable of calling what? Get day method. No. Yeah. Now what I am doing is if, okay, d dot get day. Okay. What it will return? What it return? What are the possible values written by the get
0,
day
1,
method?
2, 3, 4.
Yeah, 0 to 6. Okay, 0 to 6. If, okay, d dot get day is equal to 0 or, okay, is equal to 0 or d dot get day, okay, get day is equal to 6. Now you tell me, notification method call from, yeah, notification method call from which class?
Weekend.
Yeah, so here notification, okay, so notification, okay, call from what? Call from weekend, okay, so weekend. Otherwise simply you no need to check any condition, simply you can write what? Else, okay, else notification call from working day, that's it, call from working day class, working day class, okay. So this is the idea, okay. Here, okay, I'm the user, okay, I want to know whether today is, okay, whether today is working day or weekend, okay. So here I'm going to, okay, start the timer, I'm going to start the timer like this, okay, timer t, sorry, timer is equal to new timer of timer dot start, I'm starting the timer. So whenever, okay, so whenever the weekend is occurred, so for suppose here, okay, I started the timer, no, so by passing today date object as parameter, now timer will decide, okay, notification method should call from either weekend or working day, okay. So what is the internal logic? This is the logic, okay. So based on the return value of this get day, it is going to call notification method from either weekend or working day, okay. So user should not call this callback method directly, okay. So callback method is called, okay, whenever particular event is occurred, okay. So today is weekend, then weekend a notification method is going to call from the, okay, so weekend class. So if today is working day, then notification method is going to call from the working day, okay. So here actually we don't have names like weekend or working day. So actually we have the names like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday and Saturday. So if, okay, so today day is either Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday, then we consider it as working day, okay, okay. Otherwise if today is either Sunday or Saturday, then we consider it as weekend, okay, weekend. So in order to, okay, no, okay, in order to get today, okay, so we are going to use the get day method like this, okay. By using get day method we can get, okay, whether today is, okay, Sunday or Saturday, okay. Then we are going to call, so sorry, timer is going to call notification method from weekend, okay. Otherwise, okay, for 1 2 3 4 5 it is going to call notification method from working day, like that. I will show you example where it is callbacks, yeah. See, so this is the interface notification, okay, and this is working day, okay. So here this notification is abstract, okay. So here is overridden this notification method, and what is the implementation here? Okay, just it is printing one message, today is working day, please stay on your work, okay, please stay on your work. And in weekend, okay, it is also implemented from notification interface, okay. So it is also overridden this notification method, and this is the implementation, just it is displaying today is weekend, enjoy the day, okay. Now timer, see here, public void start, okay. Here date is a, date object is a parameter. Now I'm going to call get day method, if it is 6 or 0, Means 6 means what? Saturday or Sunday? 6 means
Saturday.
Saturday. 0 means
Sunday.
yeah, Sunday. Okay. Then we are going to initialize this notification reference variable. Actually, notification is a interface. Okay, so this is interface reference variable. Okay, so you can initialize it with its implemented class. Okay, its implemented class weekend, and okay, so you are going to call notification. So here notification reference variable is initialized with the weekend. No, then this notification method is going to call from the weekend. Else means it is not Sunday and Saturday. Then the notification reference variable is initialized by working day, and notification method is going to call from working day. Okay,
So this
here,
line number 17 is required.
yes, it is required. No,
And instead, can we write in the line number 21 notification equal to?
how can you create an object directly for
No, he's
interface?
creating that. We can create the object itself inside the line number 21 and 26, right? That is
Yeah,
Yes,
directly.
yes.
Yeah, you can directly create here weekend w is equal to new weekend of w dot notification, like that also we can call.
Okay.
Okay, but here notification reference variable is capable of holding its implemented classes objects. No, that's why I took one reference variable here like this. So for suppose, so instead of this, we can also use like this working day WD and weekend WE, like this. Okay, but here we should use WD and sorry, weekend. No, so WE and here we should use like this working day. So instead of using two reference variables like this, I'm using only one.
No, I think he's telling he can declare it locally instead of instance variable.
Yes,
That's
sir.
your
Yes,
question,
sir.
no? Yeah.
Yeah. I got point. But why I took this notification reference variable here? I'm explaining that, sir. Yeah, you can also create a locally. Okay.
Yeah, I think maybe it is a good idea to make it local. It will save the memory. Right.
Okay. Okay. I hope it is clear. If anybody have doubts, you can ask.
Anand sir, can you open the slide once? I want to just talk about little bit of motivation, why we should have this callback methods, right?
Sure, sir.
Because we can do it in a different way also, right? I want to give you an idea, like a significant difference between object orientation and structural programming is, in structural programming, your main, right, is like a constructor. It's basically a contractor. Like it says you do this, you do that, right? If you just think about any Python program, simply you have done like without object orientation, or you may have done a C, C++, any program in a structural way, you may observe that main is the particular portion from where we call all the functions, right? Does it make sense what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah. But in object orientation, the main is just the initiator. It initiates the thing. Rest of the job will be done by the interaction between the objects. So I used to give a very small example to understand the power of object orientation. It's just an analogy. Just don't take it like a program or anything. Just think about you're building a house, right? You're building a house. Now, what you have done, you have purchased different raw materials, like you have purchased that bricks, sand, cement, etc., etc. You have booked a godown where you have stored all these raw materials, right? Now you call this first set of people, like they are the people who want to put the initial structure of your house. So you give the key of your godown, you say, open the godown, take your bricks, sand, etc., etc., and put the infrastructure, right? So after few days or few months, you find the infrastructure is created. Now next you may be calling the carpenter, you give them the key, right? You say, you take the key, the woods are there and everything is there, you open and take whatever you require, put in my windows and door. After few days that is also done, right? Then again I call the painters because I need my house to be painted, right? I say, I give him the key, I say, go to the godown. The paints, the cans are there, you take them and do the painting. So this is one way I can finish my house, right? So I am acting as a contractor. I have managed, arranged all the raw materials together. Then I'm calling the service providers, my labor one by one, so that my job could be ultimately done. So this is a typical way our structure programming works, right? So main works like a contractor inside which all the raw materials, the variables are declared. Now what you do, call a function. Functions are the service provider. You give the raw material, the variables into it. They modify the variable, return you back. Does it make sense? The analogy, does it make sense to you?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
So
but how it is related with the callback?
yeah, I'm going to that. I'm going to. Now, next, what is happening? The particular person, the painter who is opening the can, he may found that some cans are broken or some cans are, I can say, stolen. Because the point could be there, because whenever I have hand over the key to someone else, the previous service provider, he may have opened my this thing and taken some can or done something wrong with that. So that is what is protected whenever we go for an object orientation. In object orientation, we say that I'm not going to be managing anything. What I'll do, I'll call the first service provider that's maybe putting my infrastructure. I'll say, take the money, bring whatever required, put my infrastructure. Then once the infrastructure is done, I call the next set of labors. I say, you have to do the woodwork, you purchase whatever required. So second way, what I do, I some way able to encapsulate my service provider with the raw material, because I'm not arranging the raw material separately. My service providers are given the responsibility, they have to arrange their raw material. So as the painter comes with their own paints, there is no way that will be accessed by anybody. So that's one way I can protect my raw material whenever I take a object oriented approach. Right? So that's why the object oriented approach is considered as a better approach, because my raw materials or data is considered as the most. Now come to the point, to the callback. Right. Now see, suppose consider you are a class and myself I am a class. So you are having a certain functions, do an assignment, and I am having a function that I want to evaluate that. I evaluate function. Right. Now I call do the assignments, and once you completed the assignment, I need to call my evaluation function. So how it could be done? If I have a main who is coordinating, the main is responsible to call the do assignment. Once the assignment done, return, I'll call evaluate. But here there is no role of main, right? As myself, I have to call you do the assignment, and you need to tell me I have done the assignment. Now you have to do the evaluation. So how this could be possible? Anyone? Do you want me to explain the scenario once again?
No, then I must have some means alarm system automatically. Once that job is done, I get a feedback from there. It is done now. The next step you can go ahead.
Yeah. So one way I can keep an tracking, right? I can put the entire your job into a loop, and I'm checking, have you done your job? Have you done your job in a repeated way? Once you say yes, I can go for checking. But that's not a easy, a good way to do it. So I'll call you. Once you have done, you have to automatically call my evaluate function. Getting my point? I'll call your object dot do the assignment. Once assignment is done, you will call my object dot evaluate, right?
Oh, okay.
But how do you
Means
know what is my object?
I am assigning, na?
See, myself, a teacher, suppose. You being a student. I'm a teacher class. I'm creating your student class object and I'm calling you. You're calling your assignment function. So your assignment is done. So you need to know which object has called you, because you have to call that object evaluate, right?
Right.
But how will get that object who has called you?
It is the means that this function under constructor, right? That is has some link which object it's calling. Accordingly, it will get back to that object.
But you should know the object. Otherwise, how will make to call to my evaluate function, right? See, the
Yes.
scenario is like this. If you look at this slide, let us consider this my class is the teacher class, and this timer is the student class, and start is the assignment function, and notify is the evaluate function. So you start, once the start is done, you have to call my notify. Anasa, can you
Yes.
go to the next slide, please?
Sir, can you?
Yeah, don't go so much.
Okay, okay.
Wait. Okay. So see, that's why if you look at this example, that my class, I'm calling the function f, right? I'm calling the function f. See, whenever I'm calling the timer, I'm passing what? This. I'm basically sending the my class object who is calling the timer, means the student. So I'm passing this means I'm passing my own object. See the timer function over here, it is receiving a my class object. So once it's received my class object, it can call o dot notify.
Sir, once more, sir.
See, my class object, my class is calling timer class, right? My class is calling timer class. Now, if I call the timer class function, and the timer is done, it has to return me, or it has to call my notification function, right? Notify function.
Correct.
But if it has to notify function, if it has to call the notify function, it needs to have my current object on which I have called that thing, right? So
Yes.
that's why whenever I'm creating the timer object, means your class object, I'm passing my own object. See, timer t new equal to timer this. This means I'm passing the current my class object into timer class. See, timer class constructor, it is receiving the my class object. This is very important. So once you have received my object, you can call my function, right?
That means when you are creating my class, you are passing your signature through this.
Not signature, my own object itself.
Your own object. By that, I am knowing.
Now
while
you are
I am
having my object. So using that object, you can call my function. But if I'm not giving my object to new, how do you know which function has to be called? Right? So that's why passing my object to you is very important.
But sir, just one question.
Yeah.
I am receiving your object that owner equal to O. That part I am able to know who is basically asking this question to me to solve.
Yeah.
This part is, but I have to know this. There is a function or method exist called notify. If I do not know,
notify is a public function, right?
Oh, notify is a public function.
Public functions. If you have a owner O, you know what are the capabilities of mine, right?
Okay, okay.
But my question is, why we are reading this in interface chapter? Can you tell me why? What is the importance of interface here? So I am having a my class. Tomorrow, Anand sir has created a Anand sir class, and he wants to give the same assignment to you, and you have to notify.
Yes, because without interface, I cannot
Yeah,
implement
we
so
cannot
many.
generalize it. We cannot
Uh-huh.
generalize it. So can you
Yeah.
go to the next slide, please, Anand sir? Next slide, please, Anand sir. Can you go next?
This one, sir.
Can you go next?
Okay.
Yeah. Wait. See, now this wonderful thing comes. You create an interface and you say you are having a method to notify. So whoever basically implement the interface, this timer is over, right? So for them, I can call the notify method. So I don't have to specify which class object it is. I know it is the object of interface timer owner. So I can generalize. Tomorrow I can give you the assignment, Anand sir give you an assignment, or somebody else you have assignment. But you know they are inheriting or they are implementing the timer over. So means they are having the capability of the notify. So that kind of class, if you pass object, obviously you will be able to call notify. So that's why it comes into the interface chapter. What is the why it is called callback? Why it is called callback? The term. I call your function, you're calling back my function. That's basically the callback. You're calling back my function. I'm calling your function, you're calling back my function. So that's basically the callback call, right?
Okay.
So anyone still having a doubt or want to ask question? Because this will be very clear once you go for the event-driven programming, because this is the heart of event-driven programming. So you say, suppose the mouse is clicked, then you have to do something. So you go on checking mouse is clicked or not. Rather than doing it, you can create a class called as a mouse and just sends a call that once the mouse is clicked, a function I'm having, you have to call that. So your job is done, right? So it's
Right.
the heart of the event-driven program. It's a very, very important. So if anybody having any doubt, please ask. Does it making sense or you're not getting anything?
No, sir. It's very nice,
It's
interesting.
very clear now, sir. It
Okay,
was very much confused topic, but now it's very clear. Thank you for the
Yeah,
explanation.
please try to relate with a real line scenario. See, object orientation is all about relating the things with a real life scenario. When you can relate each part of your programming with some real life scenario of yourself, of your surrounding, then only you will be able to understand it, right? So like private class also you can think in a way, so myself and my parts. So my parts is something an internal class to me. So somebody asks me, give me your 10 rupees. I don't give my parts. I rather take out the rupees and give it to you. So that's like I'm creating an object, give it to you. I'm not giving the entire class to you, right? So similarly, you can understand. Yeah, Anand sir, please you can continue. You're getting late, I think.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Okay. Last topic. So iterators. Okay. So what is iterator? Okay. So by you iterate, actually iterator is an interface. Okay. So here by using iterator, you can loop through any data structure. Okay, you can loop through the any data structure. Okay, for suppose, okay, for suppose we have one list. Okay, I'm going to take example like this. So any data structure. So here I'm using list. Okay, so here this is the list. Okay, so this list contain some values. Okay, some values. Okay, like 100, So please unmute yourself. Okay, 200, 300, okay, 500. Okay, like this, your list contain the values like this. Okay, 100, okay, 200. Okay. So not only okay integer values, okay, your list may contain okay string values also. Okay, so like this, your list is having some values. Okay, so now okay by using iterator you can loop through okay any data structure. Okay, so by using iterator you can loop through, you can traverse through the data structure and you can okay access the elements from that data structure. Okay, so as of now okay, so this is okay a list okay data structure. Now by using iterator okay, so you can traverse through this data structure and you can get the elements. Okay, so by default okay, by default your iterator okay cursor will be here, means top of the data structure. Now I want to check whether okay your data structure is okay having elements, okay elements or not, okay elements or not. For that I'm going to call has next method. Okay, so has next method okay is going to check whether element is okay element is in the next location of your okay data structure or not. Okay, so whenever you call has next method, cursor move from here to here. Okay, and now it is going to check okay has next method. So it returns what boolean value. Okay, it will check whether element is in the next location or not. Okay, so element is there. Okay, element is there. Now it is going to return true. Okay, it is going to return true because element is there. Okay, so here which method I have called, so has underscore next. Okay, after that if this has next method return true, then I'm going to call get next method in order to get the element from the current location. Okay, so here as next and get next, sorry, like this. Okay, next again. Okay, again we have to call same thing, has next get next, has next get next up to end of the data structure. Okay, so instead of that okay what I'm doing is while okay while it means here iterator object, so it dot get next, sorry, first I'm checking it dot has next, sorry, it dot has next. Okay, it dot has next. So if element is present in the next location of the okay next location of the okay data structure, then it will return true, then only okay it will come to the while loop, otherwise it won't come to the while loop. Okay, now here I'm going to write what happened. Okay. So here I'm going to write what system dot out dot println of here it dot get next, like this. Okay, yeah, now what I'm doing is I'm going to create an object for iterator like this. Okay, sorry, I created an object of okay iterator. Okay, iterator has two methods here, see, public interface iterator. Okay, so now I'm going to call has next method okay in order to check whether element is present in the data structure or not. Okay, if the element is present, then it return true. Okay, it return true. Now I'm going to get the element from the current position by using it dot get next method, like this. Okay, so it is going to repeat up to this position. Okay, up to this position. So after this position, okay, again has next method is going to call, but there is no element present after 500. So it will return false. Now this loop is going to terminate. Okay, so here iterator is an interface. Okay, it has two methods, has next and get next. Okay, so by using these two methods, okay, by using these two methods, we are going to traverse through any data structure in Java. Okay, in Java, and we are going to, okay, get the elements by using these two methods. First, we have to check whether element is present in the data structure or not. After that, if the element is present, then only we should call this get text method. Okay, is it clear?
Sir, here it.hasNext and getNext, these two method is inbuilt to the Java.
Actually, this is user defined iterator. Okay, so has next and get next, these two are user defined only. Okay, so apart from this user defined, we have one predefined iterator also. Okay, so that will be introduced in week 6. Okay,
No,
week 6.
My question is, go to that page, sir.
This one.
Yes. Now to traverse array, we haven't introduced whether I is equal to 0, means I have to write this has next method to go to traverse to this list. Yes,
Actually,
this
if
part
it
is
is
not.
yeah, if it is user defined iterator, we should write the code for this has next and get next. Okay, so if you use, okay, predefined iterator, okay, by default we have get next, sorry, has next and next methods. Actually, we have predefined iterator also, so I'll show you. So if it is user defined iterator, you should write implementation for these two has next and get next. Okay, so if it is predefined iterator, you no need to write the code. Okay, directly you can call these two methods. I'll show you. So java p java dot util dot yeah. See here, this is the predefined iterator. Okay, so it has two methods. First one is has next method, and the next one is next method. Okay, remove is also there. Okay, we'll discuss about remove in week 6. Okay, so as of now, here has next is going to check whether element is present in the, okay, data structure or not. Okay, if it is present, we are going to get that by using next method. Okay, so it is used to get the element from the current position, and it is going to check whether element is present in the data structure or not. Okay, so this is predefined iterator, and sir discussed about user defined iterator in the slides. Okay, so if you, okay, create iterator, your user defined iterator like this, okay, you should write code for these two has next and get next. You should write explicitly.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sir,
I have
why
done,
have
sir.
Sir, why have we not used the object for that has next method, sir? Object.
Yeah, actually,
No, in that code, I can see that object word only for get next, but not for has next. So
here has next. Just I want to check whether element is present in the data structure or not. Okay, I don't want to get the element directly first. Just
no, is
first
it
I
like
want to check.
no? I thought an object has a list of so many uh, contains a list of all numbers in this example which you have taken. Okay. An
No,
object
no, no,
has,
no, no. It is
so
not
that
for that. Can I answer
no.
this? See, has next do what? It basically, first of all, why the iterator is needed. So it's basically want to generalize the traverse. Like if I have to traverse an array, I know I have to use the index, right? If you have to traverse into a stack, it is some LIFO kind of approach. If I go for a queue, there is another approach. So every data structure having a different approach. So I want to create a standard interface using this has next and get next, and you basically implement how you want to traverse into it. So that's why you can implement this has next and get next in your way. So now it is the data structure object. Normal inside the data structure class, you will have this iterator class as a private class, and using that object you can create your has next and get next to access your data inside your data structure. Now has next do what? Suppose you are having a list, you go on reading. So has next checked out, do you have the next object or not inside your whatever the data structure is. So if there is no object present next or no data present next, so it says no, false. If there is more data to be read, then it's a yes, true, right? And get next to what? It returns the value, what it reads from the particular data structure. Now, you do not know what kind of value is stored into your data structure. So what should be your return type? Getting my point? You do not know what kind of value stored into your data structure. It may be an integer, it may be a character, or it may be an employee object, right? So what should be the return type of get next? Because whatever the value could be there inside your data structure, it should be able to return that, right?
Yeah, for that reason only that object of which
Yeah,
is
object
specific
is parent
specific
of
to
any
that.
class in Java, right? So you can
So,
return object for any specific kind of value. So that's why it is object.
for that specific kind of value inside that particular has, if has next is true, the for that specific kind of value, that object term is used.
Yeah.
We
So now
return.
you have to cast it to get that value.
Okay.
So that's why you don't have to create a get next for each kind of data types, right? You can have a generalized returning an object. It works for all kinds of data.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's a please.
Yeah, Arup sir, I have done. And if anybody have doubts, so you can ask in week 3 and week 4.
Yeah, we are having now opening the session for any kind of doubt for week 3 and week 4.
Yeah.
So any
Anyhow,
doubt?
we have Saturday, no sir.
Yes. Saturday we are discussing the programming, right?
Yes, sir.
So Saturday we'll discuss the programming assignments. So if you don't have any doubt, I think we can close otherwise, right? Any issues with week 3 and 4?
So week 4 actually the assignment part I haven't done. So question will generate only after that.
Okay, maybe on Saturday we'll discuss that. Yeah, that's fine.
Saturday,
If you don't,
sir, exactly what we will do in Saturday?
the programming assignments we'll discuss, whatever we have already done.
Oh, the programming part means we have to do the programming?
No. Programming assignments we had last few weeks.
Oh, that already done.
Discuss the solution. We'll discuss.
Oh, acha.
Okay. So we are expected to do that. And along with that, if you have any doubt, we'll take that on.
Okay, sir, is it possible to take at least means after that one concrete example, programming example, which can discuss all the concepts so far we read?
See, the few things cannot be covered like this callback, right? This can be properly done once you go for that event-driven programming. But maybe we can discuss rest of the things. Yeah, we'll try to do that.
Okay. And actually, sir, in the lecture, sir, example with some means the example is not that very. I find a little difficult. Maybe I am the first timer. That is.
No. Examples are very much conceptual. So you need to understand the deeper idea into the things. right? So rather than simply doing the coding a lot, he has focused only on the main concepts to be covered. So
Yeah,
you
that
have to
quick
catch the
short
concept.
part, that sorting the algorithm,
Yeah.
that what he discussed, I didn't understand means in that clarity. I understand,
Which
but
week we have that?
this week four, I think. Just hold on 1 minute.
Anand sir, do you have the week for content?
Week 4, no, sir? Yeah, I have.
Can you point out which one? Week 4. This is the week 4. Right?
Yes, lecture 4.4. Controlled interaction with object, means you discuss with a simple example, but sir discuss this thing with some sorting, array sorting technique. That part is not very clear.
4.4.
That part is in the lecture 4.2. That is talking
4.2,
about.
right? Na? Interface. Yeah, yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
4.2. Can you go?
4.2.
Yeah, I will. Okay, this one.
Yes, yes, yes. So can you make it a little big, sir? Yeah.
Anand sir, do you want to explain this?
Yeah, you can explain, sir. Actually, I can say this.
See, the quick sort, what is going on inside, you don't have to understand. So what he has told that you have to pass, suppose there is a quick sort method which is supposed to take a array of the elements of the comparable type. So where is the comparable definition? Can you go to the definition of comparable interface? Somewhere there must be a comparable.
Sir, I just have to give you my general means doubt. Then it is easy for you to.
I think you can give it on the Discord. I think I can answer that.
Okay, okay.
I think you'll be able to understand. So it's basically, see, the idea is something, different values has to be compared in a different way. Suppose integer we are having directly greater than less than, but if you have to compare two strings, you may not be able to use that greater than less than in a straightforward way, right? Or
Right.
maybe two employees has to be compared. So that's why comparable is a method which gives you capability to compare between two objects. The object could be of any type, right? So whenever you create the objects of employee class and you implement the comparable for the employee class, so you defined how two employee object has to be compared, right? So that's why now if your array is of employee type also, then your quick sort will be able to sort it.
Okay.
Again, I repeat, any sorting, forget about quick sort, any sorting should able to compare between two elements, right?
Right.
Or two objects. Right. So if it is an integer, I know how to compare. If it is suppose string, I know how to compare. But if there are two employees, how do I know who is greater, who is less? It has to be user-defined comparison, right? But my sorting function do not know how I have implemented over there this comparison, right? So why not I create a generic interface? Just an interface, not generic. Generic is a different term. Why not I declare an interface comparable where I suppose have a compare method, right? Compare method. Now, whenever I create my employee class, I say implement compare, and in the compare function, I write down how to compare between two employees.
Okay.
Now, using the compare method inside my sorting, I can compare between two employees. My sorting will be done. Now, suppose whenever I create a student class, I also make it inherit the comparable and implement how to compare between two students. In that way, the same function also works for the student class. So that's why any class you can have in the world which is implementing the comparable able to use my function, right? Rather than being specific to a int, float, or employee, just make it comparable. Comparable is a interface. So whoever in the world implement the comparable interface, for that you can use your sorting function. That's the idea.
Oh, gotcha. Then sir, why the name is quick sort? Why not only sorting?
Just yes, mention like a specific short name.
Means quick sort is something different from sorting?
No. It's a kind of sorting. Quick sort, bubble sort, these are name of different sorting algorithms.
But as you said, when we are generalize this sorting technique, means comparison between two employee. But that time whether bubble and quick sort is applicable means as far as I know.
Any sorting you need to make the element. See, in bubble sort, what we pass? We pass an array, right? So what it is saying, don't make it specifically an integer array or a float array. It is saying pass the array of an interface type. So in that case, what benefit you will get? Whatever classes who are implementing the interface, for all, you can apply that sorting function.
Yeah. Okay.
See, I'm just giving an example. Suppose inside my person is an interface, a person interface. Now a person can eat, right? Now you want to implement certain function which involves this eating functionality, right? So now I'm saying whatever the class you implement, if that can implement the person, then it will be a eatable class. Means you can use that particular class into my particular function because it will have the eating functionality, right? It's the same idea. Whatever class you are having, if it is implementing the comparable, means it is having a functionality to compare, right, between two objects. So that's why it becomes a generalized function which can be used for all the objects or all the classes who are implementing this comparable interface.
And I am define this comparable statement means as per the object type.
Comparable is an interface, right? Inside what you are having, this CMP, as per your this example, this function has to be an abstract function, right? Now, suppose you are writing an employee class, you write a class employee implements comparable. Now you are forced to write this CMP. You have to define because it's an abstract method. So implement how two employees can be compared. Now
that means this CMP will change as per the data type.
The implementation will change as per the data type, but your sorting do not bother how you are going to compare. It calls the compare and done the sorting.
Agreed. Okay.
So how internally compare is implemented, I don't bother. So you give me the compare method, I'll do the sorting. That's that.
That's the whole idea about this thing.
Yeah, it's basically it's for generalization. I don't have to be specific about a data type. I don't want to bound my function to a specific type of class only. I want to make it generic. So I'll say if you have a capability to compare, then I can do the sorting.
Okay.
So maybe next I'll show you one example, not sorting example, very simple something, so that immediately you'll catch that.
Okay.
Or you can, yeah, that will be better rather than posting on the Discord. I'll discuss. I'll create some small program. So anything else?
No, sir.
So anybody else? Like, yeah. Please let us know if you are facing any kind of trouble. Otherwise, yeah. Doing program for the first timer, it could be little difficult if you don't clear your doubts from the beginning, because it will be like become a backlog day to day, and at the end you'll suffer a lot. So after a few weeks, the difficult thing will come and you'll be finding your loss. So that's a very good idea. You clear up your doubt as and when they're coming, so that you are not piling up your doubts at for the end. Right? So please, whenever you're finding any small doubt, also keep it noted, and in the live session, please discuss it. Right? So I think that's the thing is, if you don't have any doubt, we can close this. Anand sir, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So shall we close the session?
Yes, sir. And in next session, we will discuss practice programming assignments of week 3 and week 4.
Sir, am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible.
Sir, I have doubt in activity question 4.2, 8, 9, 10. So regarding the rules of variable in interfaces, like what are the rules of declaring or defining variables in interfaces?
Anand sir, can you stop sharing this?
Yes, sir. Actually, I want to open that.
Yeah, you can stop sharing the screen and then open.
Yeah, yeah.
Anand sir, if you got it, you can share now.
Yes, sir. So, 1 second. Yeah. Is my screen visible, sir?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. In 4.2, you have doubt, huh?
Yes, sir. 4.2. Question number 8, 9, and 10.
Okay. Yeah, this one, no?
Yes,
Question
sir.
number 8. Yeah, what is your doubt?
Sir, in question number, like, sir, 8, 9, 10 are similar, but I have doubts regarding what are the rules of declaring variables inside interface.
Okay, actually, variable inside an interface. Okay, for suppose this is interface. Okay, so some A. Okay, so I explained this in previous session also. Now let me repeat it. So if you want to declare any variable, that should be final in interface. Okay, so public static final int A is equal to 20. Sorry, int A is equal to 20. Okay, so if any variable you declare, okay, inside an interface, by default that variable become final. Okay, if you mention final explicitly, okay, or not, doesn't matter whether you mention this final before variable declaration. Okay, so doesn't matter whether you declared explicitly or not, but automatically your compiler will add these three things before the variable. Okay, if you declare just simply int A is equal to 20, okay, automatically your compiler at compile time will add this public static final before the variable declaration. Okay, so every variable, okay, every variable in an interface by default final.
Okay, sir. Now I got.
Yeah, so here int A, okay, you forget to initialize your variable A here, no, so your compiler will generate an error. Why? Because so here
Because
A is final, no.
yes,
So final variable you should initialize. So without initialization, you can't declare your variable inside of an interface. So not only in interface, in class also, if you declare any variable as final, you should initialize it. Otherwise, your compiler will generate an error. Is it clear?
yes, sir. Now I got it.
Okay. Any other doubts?
No, sir.
Okay. I'm asking others also. If anybody have doubts, you can ask and clarify your doubts. Okay. Arup sir, shall we close the session? Arup sir?
Sir, Anand sir, one small doubt.
Okay.
No, in that notification, the weekday and weekend implementation of notification.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
had mentioned, no need to open it, sir. I just wanted to know, like, you in this particular example, in this keep the screen in this ninth question, you have that public class C implements AB, no, sir.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
that public without the public that is called an access modifier, no, sir.
Yeah, public is access.
So without that public term access modifier, you mentioned in the other examples, like I think weekend implementing notification. You mentioned just class weekend implements notification like that. So if without if it's not mentioned also, it's okay, sir. If it's not stated explicitly, you mentioned like class weekend implements notification. That's also is fine. I'm asking. No, in some exam, somewhere I saw like that implements something. That public word is missing. So
here you're asking.
Yeah, class working day implements
Yeah,
notification.
yeah.
Public word there.
Where here? Here.
The sixth line and 11th line and the 16th line.
Okay.
Do you require it or it's optional, sir?
Actually, so if you are writing all these classes in a same file, okay, there should be only one public class. There should be only one public class. If all these are in a same file, actually here user.java, no, this file. So I'm writing all these classes in a same file. For suppose if you write all these classes in separate files, then you should write public before this, like this. If you write all these classes in a same file, then there should be only one public class like this.
Okay, sir. If this in this particular what the page you have opened, all are written in one file only, no, sir?
Yeah, one file only.
So only one class. It's enough if only one class is mentioned as public. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Oh, which class, sir? The one which has the
main.
The
one which is having the main method.
Okay.
Because main method is the starting execution block of every Java program, no? That's why we should make. Okay. So this whatever the class having main method, we should make it as public among all remaining classes.
So going back to that activity question, that ninth question, you mentioned two public. So you mean to say like both are
here we are
considering.
We are considering interface A, B, and class C. Okay. Example.
So each one is written in different file.
Each one is written in different files. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, if you want to execute all these files in a single file, then you should remove public before interface, these two interfaces and class also. Just you should keep a public before example is enough.
Okay. And the next after example line, there's public static. Okay, that public static can't be.
Like this is
that public word is mandatory. Okay.
Yeah, mandatory.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
But sir, we can save all these public with different file name, but that has to be lie in the same directory, right?
Yes. No. If yeah. If you create in a same package, then all are in a same directory.
Otherwise, I am not able to trace it.
Yeah. Okay. In next session, we'll discuss about programming assignments. And meanwhile, if you have any doubts regarding AQ or PQ, anything, we'll discuss in Saturday also. No problem. So, okay. Apart from programming assignments, you can also ask your doubts about AQ and PQ in next session. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
I think most of you not attempted PQ questions. So if you attempt, then doubts will generate, no? Yeah, you can ask in next session also. Okay. So apart from programming questions. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. If anybody have doubts, you can ask. Otherwise, we can stop the session. Okay. Thanks everyone. Okay. We'll meet in next session. Okay. Bye bye.